Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
You know what Mr. Miyagi said was the best defense in all of karate?
High outside block against an axe kick?
The best defense is no be there.
You mean don't be there? Guy teaches you centuries of his ancient family karate and you can't help him with his English?
Don't even go there with me, Johnny.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
Omega here.
MSK.
Yo, peace. And today we're going to do something new. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
Really something different.
Something different. Something different.
Completely off the... No, actually, this is not different. We've done this several times, especially whenever there's a gap in our recording. So we can start going to all the things we've been catching up on. We're going to do just that. We're going to mustard. We're going to mayo. Like Yo Peace
I hate mustard. I hate mustard so much.
Discussion. We're going to condiment this thing and we're going to do some ketchup. We're going to do some ketchup. And... what were we just talking about?
We always do this. We take a whole hour before the show starts and we talk about everything.
We basically do a whole show before we press record.
Before we even press record. We always do this.
Well, you know what? Okay, we'll do the smart thing. I broke it down. I basically, we're just going to catch up in the past 2 months. The content is just ridiculous anyways, and that's the best part. December, this month, January. But, okay, we'll jump over to the real downer, Matrix Resurrection.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so let's talk about this.
What a way to start.
Let's talk about this movie.
We started on low, so we end on a high.
No, wait.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should start this way.
Well, can we at least...
Okay,
Can we at least apologize to the audience for all the coughing we're about to do for this show? Since listen, we're not used to this cold. Let's be realistic about this.
It's freezing.
SoFlo, I think we're hitting the 40s, 30s tonight. 30s. So
yes,
Yo Peace is hitting the 30s at least, and I think MSK's in the 20s.
I'm in the 20s.
So we apologize ahead for all the sneezing and
at least you're outside of 2 feet of snow, but yeah. So and also we're a little rusty. So MSK will work as much magic as he can, but not all the magic.
I'm not doing a goddamn thing. I'm not doing a goddamn thing. It's gonna go like this. Get ready.
We're gonna do it raw. It's gonna be rough. So yes, again, apologies for any of the things that slip through that might annoy your podcast tendencies and taste of quality.
Meta.
But again, so Matrix, speaking of quality.
Matrix.
Meta quality. Matrix.
Okay, so what's the good part about the Matrix? Let's see.
I'm going to be backed into a corner to defend it a little bit. I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It's not good, though. It's not bad. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not good. It's definitely not good.
Okay, so you don't think it's terrible. Let me ask you one question. Where do you rank it from all the other ones?
It's the worst one.
Oh my goodness.
It's the worst one.
Because here's the thing. The other two, there are scenes, and obviously the third one least, and this one, I really don't have a reason to watch it again. And that's where the issue is. And for me, I usually judge a film by are there things... number one, if I'm willing to watch the whole movie again, that means it's a great movie. Are there things that if I'm flipping through the channels, which doesn't happen often anymore, now we stream, so you're purposely, intentionally watching things now. It's very rare you're catching things by accident. But if I were in that situation where I'm flipping through channels on a DirecTV stream or AT&T or Comcast or whatever, I don't stop on that movie for anything now. Part 3... there's like a moment here and there that I stop for. Part 2, there's about 40 minutes of an action sequence that I have to stop for. And no matter what point of it I jump into, whether he's stopping the bullets, whether, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Morbius, is fighting the twins or whatever in the garage, or the bus scene, or whatever. Morbius, sorry.
I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to laugh either because you just said Lawrence Fishburne and we had this whole thing about it.
I know. That's a whole nother.
I'm going to kind of segue. I'm going to segue to that actually. That's what.
Yeah, we'll segue into that.
But like, I said Morbius, terrible. Which
Morbius.
That's another thing because
that's a common mistake though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to talk about because I just recently learned I was supposed to come out this month and they bumped it to April and everyone thought it was going to be a joke too and it wasn't.
And no, it actually. So wait, I'm going to say something very positive about this movie. All right. After watching this movie, I have upgraded Matrix 2 to 3 to actual movies. Because, for a long time, those were fan films to me. So they're upgraded and they are actually canon for me. They're actually canon because I don't know what happened with this movie, man. Like, it felt like a parody of The Matrix.
Right.
And it was like, I get it. Like, they were doing the whole meta thing and the whole meta commentary. And it was kind of like the director saying F you to Warner Brothers. And that's cool, but it was at my expense because, like, I actually wanted a good movie. So
you gave me you got me interested, interested enough in the way you promote the movie.
The trailer was good.
You made it seem like it was going to get deeper than what it really was at the end.
Their marketing was too good.
Yeah.
They had the opposite marketing of Dune, which I'll bring up a little bit, but we don't get into that. That's a little bit old. That came out in November. But my point is that Dune had terrible marketing. It had no marketing.
Right.
Awful.
And the only thing that worked for it is that those of us that were just wanted to see it because of what our own eyes saw, were like, I don't care what the marketing's showing. I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
The bar was so low that it destroyed our expectations.
Right.
And everyone's like, wow, this is actually a great film. Where Matrix, it was too good of a marketing. Where we were like, okay, you know what? I had a very low bar for this thing, but you know what? This might actually be good. This might be something worth our while and actually fix some of the stuff from 2 and 3. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. And I'll tell you right now,
you got to give it up to marketing though. It was a great trailer. I really enjoyed that trailer.
It was. No, it was insane. It was insane. And then the whole little campaign thing they did, where every time you clicked on the blue pill, the red pill, it gave you a different scene.
Smart.
And it was very intelligent. And it wasn't a terrible base story. It's just one of those things that like maybe would have been better as a video game.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a positive. I'm glad to see some of the actors back in the movie.
I wish they would have cared to work. I really felt Keanu, and we're huge Keanu Reeves fans. Check out our previous episode. We did a Keanu Reeves deep dive. We did a whole
episode about it.
Yeah, we did a whole episode just Keanu Reeves and a lot of his work. But it really feels like he went in there and went, look, John Wick is kicking my ass.
Yeah.
I'm doing way too much for that movie.
I'm tired.
I want to do as little as possible here.
And I'm going to show up, but
so make me a Jedi.
Here.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to be a Jedi, and I'm just going to force push everyone, and we'll just do that. And let's do very little kung fu this time around.
I did not, you know what? I did not enjoy the new Morpheus, man. I don't know what.
I like the actor.
He's great. The actor's awesome.
After Watchmen, like I'm on board, and even like Candyman, I haven't done it yet. The reboot of Candyman. I'm gonna eventually watch it. That's just one of those movies that's so low on my radar. I'm waiting till it's free on HBO Max. So eventually, I think Yopis has watched the most recent Candyman. Well, not think, I know he has. MSK and myself are still holding off. But regardless, I want to see it only because I like that actor and have a feeling whatever he's doing in that film is going to be good. So it wasn't bad because of him. It was just the way that they told the story for him.
It wasn't needed.
And unused.
It wasn't needed. He wasn't like, they could have made him a brand new character. Like he didn't have to be Morpheus.
He didn't have to be Morpheus at all. Why? Because he got downloaded into this whole new, like, that's not a thing. And they forced it down. Listen, that movie, it's not part of the Matrix, and I'm with the MSK here. Part 1, 2, and 3. Now I can actually say that's a trilogy that I can rewatch. I would never watch this movie again. I'm sorry, like I really don't care for it.
And you know what my problem was is that I saw the original Matrix right before I hit play on the new one.
That's a mistake.
And it's like that was a mistake. That was a big mistake because I saw the original one, and it's like, man. You know, it's dated, but like...
look, you win. You saw it before you even saw this movie. I didn't, and I still did not enjoy it. So there's no, you know what I mean? There's no right or wrong. It's just like, for us, like, we didn't...
It just wasn't for us.
It wasn't for us. Maybe I know somebody that actually enjoyed it. Enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
We all know somebody who really
we all know that guy.
And we all know this. I I wanted to see it with him, a friend of the podcast. I'll say it, GAT305. But I mean, and he's a defender of it. He really likes the franchise. He likes a lot of things about it, and I understand some of his arguments to it, especially the one thing about Wachowski giving a big, screw you to Warner Brothers in the studio,
which is pretty cool. Like
it is
that's
pretty cool, and it's true.
But
it's obviously true.
It's obviously true,
especially with the post credit. That's terrible. The cat tricks and all that. But the thing is, like, I intended, and I'm actually glad I didn't. I ended up having to watch it with my folks, on a big screen TV, decent surround sound and all that, because I was over visiting them for the holidays. And I watched, and I'm glad I did, because I really intended to see that in the theater, because I really thought, like, part 2 and 3, that there would be moments where I'm like, well, not the best movie, but at least I saw this scene
not even one
in the theater.
Not even one.
There was no scenes that I felt like.
I think the coolest thing, which was like whatever, was like bodies dropping from a building.
Yeah, that was whatever.
And that
man.
was whatever. That was the coolest thing you can do. Bodies.
There wasn't really anything memorable about. Oh man, you know what? I really hated. I don't want to sound like, but it's just like, they actually mentioned bullet time. Like they actually mentioned,
and they call it
the
that
actual thing that they made up to film this movie. It was, I don't know. It was too meta for me. That's what it was.
It was,
and it wasn't good meta. Like I think I told Omega, like, dude, Teen Titans Go does meta all the time, and it's better. It's way better,
all the time.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every episode, every scene.
I don't know where they went. I mean, I don't know as far as production went and screenwriting and everything. I don't know where it went wrong. This was again one of those franchises that I feel that if they were going to do a video game or whatever, they should have just done that. I didn't really feel like there was this fandom crying out for, a new film, because for the masses, it's always the same. Even the ones who like all 3 movies, they're still like, yeah, the first one blows it all away. When you're saying that, by a lot, not even a little, like, well,
by a lot,
it's hard to say the first one's not the best one, because without the first one, like we have with Star Wars and things like that, it's not one of those. It's like everyone in agreement, yeah, first one by far is way better. And most people are kind of in our set of mind, which is, didn't need a sequel at all. They should have just left the first one alone. Yeah. It should have been one of those great one-time movies that
a cult classic is what it should have been.
And like that's it. And then if they wanted to do video games or an animated series or even a follow-up later down the line, it was a Siler series. That would be great. A Siler series, Siler Steakhouse, or everything tastes like steak.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have done that, but it just didn't cut the mustard, man. It really was, and kind of I think that's gonna be the lowest thing on our list of things, because I think everything else that we're gonna talk about are all things that either
we've seen, have not seen, or
those of us who've seen it enjoy it, and those of us who haven't yet seen it are looking forward to seeing it.
Right.
Let's jump into something we've also all seen before we start. Let's see, mate. Just December alone, I'm just gonna start spitting out before we actually start going into detail on them. Of course, we're gonna get into Spider-Man: No Way Home a little bit. But yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Matrix Resurrections. I don't know if you guys seen it. That Arcane League of Legends on Netflix animated series.
I saw the first episode.
Dude, that series is great. Get into that, maybe a necessity. Don't Look Up. I don't know if you guys both have seen that yet.
Not yet.
For me, it was better than Matrix 4. Lost in Space. We can get into.
I did see Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Have you also? You're caught up on Lost in Space also.
I am caught up with Lost in Space. So we can definitely
do a little dive. I know we're all caught up on Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Also The Witcher, Hawkeye. Encanto. Well, actually, Encanto came out in November, but it's the same thing. It hit Disney Plus in December, so that's kind of when everyone was watching it.
Right.
And then I guess some of the things.
I think some cases we're still watching it.
Yeah.
And I think we need to try to get some money out of Encanto somehow. Like, I think we all need to sing at this moment.
Everyone.
Because everybody's singing on some platform.
On TikTok.
On some platform.
TikTok. Not even
as long
TikTok
as we don't
in my
talk
house.
about Bruno.
Yeah.
Because we can't talk about Bruno.
Oh my goodness.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
But actually, we don't talk about Dexter. Anyways, none of us have seen it yet. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I have seen, there's actually a free episode of it on YouTube, Yellow Jackets, which is a series that comes on after Dexter. Very interesting series. I did binge Station 11. That's on, I don't know if either of you have, on HBO Max. And then, of course, we're definitely going to talk and do some diving into Book of Boba Fett, which then will lead us into January now this month, because Book of Boba Fett is still going. I say let's jump into Lost in Space a little bit, because I believe MSK just wrapped that up. Or is
No, I just started.
Oh, you just started. I'm in season 1. Okay. So Lost in Space season 3 did come out in December, but we're not going to dive into that because MSK has.
I mean, you guys could talk about it.
We talked about it before. I think I'm not sure if I made it. Did it as a necessity or Yopi's did it once. I might have done.
I think you did it once as a necessity, actually. But I'm digging it, man. It's like a completely different take on the original. Yeah. I don't remember the dad being such a military dude, but I'm digging it. I'm digging all the characters.
Well, yeah, he wasn't. If you watch, because you haven't rewatched the film, right? Because I know you
haven't rewatched the film, and most of my memories is based off the old school like series from like back in the day.
Sci-fi used to play.
Yeah, so that they used to show on Sci-Fi all the time. So it's like it stays true to that, but they change a lot of things. That's pretty cool, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, so the film definitely followed the original series more and casted the characters accordingly. I know you're in enough to know the dynamics I'm going to change, which is they changed the backstory, obviously, because they also changed the gender of Dr. Smith. Yeah. Excellent. They completely changed the origin story and everything that's going on with Robot. Right. Gear up, because
that's awesome.
It's the whole series, and it's a beautiful thing. That Robot to me makes the series and the whole thing, the story with Robot. Next to that, they changed Dr. Smith. Well, the father, Dr. Smith, who's no longer a doctor. Now he is ex-military that came along for the ride with the family.
Robinson.
Robinson. I'm saying Smith. Yeah, Smith's the villain. What kind of villain in the series? But yeah, Robinson, Papa Robinson, military guy now, which that guy's in Black Sails. Excellent. I mean, that actor is just, you're gonna want to see Black Sails when you're done watching Lost in Space, because he brings it.
I've seen, still cannot get into it, so yeah.
You don't like Black Sails?
I tell you, I watched the first season. I still cannot get into that season.
The whole season, and you're not into it.
I'm not into it.
Wow.
No. Wow, you gave it a chance, though.
You don't like pirates the way you like Vikings, is what it is. Yeah. You're not as much of a pirate fan as a Viking fan.
I guess so.
We gotta. So Valhalla, man, you've ruined my life with that game.
Sorry.
I'm so obsessed with it.
All right, before this turns into a Vikings episode.
Yeah, no. But and then they changed stuff with the daughters. One daughter is not is a half daughter. Is only from the the mother's daughter, but from a different father. And there's a whole backstory and dynamic to all that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So all the things that they changed to the family dynamic, as well as the overall story for the series on Netflix, is just genius. It's like almost and because it's so far removed and such a long time from the original franchise and the subject matter, it works completely. It doesn't take away from that. It's its own thing. Just as a basis, almost like the new War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise when Spielberg did it. It's such a big jump from the base story in the original. So yeah, it's awesome, and that's as far as we'll go. So basically, like a necessity, because I don't want to ruin anything for MSK.
Please don't. I'm only like 5 episodes in.
Cobra Kai. We all saw Cobra Kai.
Yes, I binged that like in 3 days.
We all binged
because it was in the middle of my vacation, middle of a snowstorm. So.
Oh, that was Happy New Year. That's what that was.
That was Happy New Year's. That's what it was. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought, but I still enjoy it. I mean, a lot of things are predictable. They're still doing the nostalgia thing, but it's still really good. I still find myself enjoying it.
Yeah, you still find yourself rooting and not rooting for certain characters back and forth. It was good. It was a good season. Obviously, not the best. But I'll go. The end was good enough for me, and I'm waiting for the next one. That's what I'm
gonna say. The final episode, they wrapped up the season so well because they were predictably unpredictable. Right. Like the only thing I knew is that it wasn't going to work out. Yeah. And which is what I love about the series. The series goes, okay, the most predictable thing this show ever did, not this show, but this franchise, obviously, were the films. And what happens in every film, Daniel's son,
good guy wins.
Ralph Macchio's characters, Daniel LaRusso wins every movie at the end. Him and Mr. Miyagi, the tag team, and then the first one especially is the most predictable, but it's that feel good.
It's the most memorable one. Yeah.
80s story of that's how it's going to turn out. And the show's like, we're not we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Because even from season 1, the way Miguel won, he wasn't really like the hero at that time when he did it. He won more as the villain. He was more of the Johnny Lawrence, even to the disarray of his sensei, Johnny Lawrence, on how he won. And I'll tell you, a spoiler alert, I don't care, but the only moment that I knew how it was going to turn out was the moment that Hawk said it, when he was feeling good again and confident again, and he looked at him and he goes, I know who I am. I'm the guy who's going to win this whole fucking thing.
That's awesome.
And I knew that weren't going to be empty words. I'm like, this
that
is
fight
awesome.
Was awesome, by the way.
You know why? They took
was
the two
awesome.
Actual martial artist actors,
that was
the ones that are
awesome.
both, previous martial artists, and put them head to head to give you a really awesome choreographed fight scene.
It was actually really good. Well done.
It was really good. And I tell you, I enjoy this guy as the villain. And he was the only one that he roller coastered Silver. And I like that. But like you say, he does need to start doing coke for the next
he needs to. There needs to be more. I mean, I'm only saying this as a joke. But no, seriously, he needs to do more coke, and he needs to gear it up for the next season.
Not the
because
actor.
if you see not the actor, the character. Because if you see Karate Kid 2,
the actor too.
No, Karate Kid 3. If you see Karate Kid 3, right?
Coke,
that guy was coked up, man. Coked up.
Come on.
Yeah,
it was coked up.
But I do get a little annoyed with the kids. Even though people argue like, well, the kids, that's normal for kids to go back and forth on their personality and their overall character. But it does get a little like, okay, I need to see some consistency in the growth of a character.
Right.
But his character,
that's from us, like fans from the original. Like this series is made for kids. All right, you watch. The kids watching this now are enjoying this, and they love all of this stuff. So there's
bad
really
words
for them,
at every corner for them. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I will say with Silver's character, that roller coaster ride worked because we went from he was very like I want to say like hesitant to like get involved in this again.
He was hesitant,
and he was like really. And then when he came in, he was more like, "Hey, this guy grew. He grew as a person. He's showing growth that he doesn't want to turn these people." And then it just
he wanted to do it the right way. He wanted to do it the right way.
And then what it did is that he really is an SOB. He really is the villain of villains. And what this guy did was awaken that from him. He did such a disservice to the world by reawakening who this guy really is. He's Walter White.
And it's awesome.
He's awesome. Walter White. If he hadn't got put into this situation again, the world would have been a better place. But now we got this evil guy, now it's going to open up a bunch of Cobra Kai.
And they played it awesome, man. Because like the whole time he's hesitant. He's like trying to do the right thing. And Kreese keeps pushing him. He's like, dude, this isn't Cobra Kai, which is trying to do like real karate. Don't teach him the right way, And he pushed him to the point where Terry Silver's like, all right.
Yep.
You want to see how I could do this? Okay.
And then the whole thing with the weaknesses, and he realized
that twist was awesome.
You're my weakness.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting it out now.
That
and I'm getting rid of it.
Awesome.
This is genius. So Cobra Kai.
It makes the worst Karate Kid movie from the trilogy a little bit more bearable. Right.
Yeah.
Because Terry Silver was great in that movie. And he's great in this. So
and now you already know he's bringing Chosen is going to be in the next season again. Now, by now, heavier into it because Johnny Lawrence is going to go off into searching for Miguel, south of the border, because that's probably where he went to go find his biological father and all that. And it looks like he'll be taking his son with him, which will be interesting, that dynamic as well. But do you think, first of all, do we get a Hilary Swank at all? And do we get the bad boy of karate from Karate Kid 3? Because I'm sure Silver and him have a relationship, type of thing. Like, because they got to wrap it all up, and to do that, they got to bring everyone back.
Yeah, they have to wrap it up. I don't know if Hilary Swank. I mean, Hilary Swank has a good deal with Netflix, but I don't know if they're going to bring her back.
They might be,
but
she'll be like in the finale, the season finale, as like a total
the last season
cameo,
maybe,
like the way they did with what's her name's character, the girl from Karate Kid Part 1. They did that with her. She was just in a 1 episode, thing that they don't need her no more. They pretty much gave closure with that whole situation with the relationship. Elizabeth Shue. Yeah, but I forget the name of the actual, her character's name, the girlfriend. Allie, there we go. But I think the same thing. I think we'll probably get a Hilary Swank cameo, but I'm just curious if they'll actually bring in another villain. That's
they will.
More
and you know what? They might go the route, if they don't get the villain from the third movie, they will bring an 80s
Rockstar
actor or something. So like kind of like Stranger Things, you know, like they keep bringing in 80s actors. They might do something like that.
Yeah.
So
they'll bring in Rudy again. They'll bring in Rudy too.
They'll bring in Rudy too.
Bro, don't play with my feelings like that. Don't play with my feelings like that.
Dude, old man can kick. Why? Hey, can Ralph Macchio, listen, I love Ralph Macchio as an actor. I know, even my cousin Vinny, who's not the main character, you know, I love him as an actor. But can he please really commit to stop being the worst martial artist in the entire thing?
But I think he knows that. I think he knows that, man. And he plays on that.
They're playing that, for sure.
They're playing on that, man. They're playing on that.
Even though, I know we all, we'll move on to the next thing after this. The funniest thing this whole season was the don't be there. That was the funniest.
Oh, man.
That was so great. I had to bring that up.
I love that. Like, first of all, and the Ecuadorian joke in the beginning was good. But
that works for you.
But the don't be there thing, I cracked up so hard there. He's like, where were you? He's like, don't be there.
Don't be there. But first, I love everything about it because I love the setup for that, which is the no be there. And he's like, you mean don't be there?
Yeah,
he's like, really? This guy taught you his family history, took you to Japan, taught you all his martial arts. You couldn't help him with his English? Like, that's such a Johnny Lawrence.
That's a great setup.
And then at the end, when
don't be there. Don't be there.
He goes, I learned your lesson.
Also,
don't be
we
there.
got a great montage of
yes,
exercising.
oh my God. But why? Like, who was it again? The country singer. Is that the montage?
That was stupid. I don't even want to talk about that because that was stupid.
Like they should have had somebody from Chicago, like a cover band or something in Chicago. Oh, dude,
that's what they should have.
When Johnny Lawrence said that too, that was a great scene. He's like, "What?" He goes, "Chicago's the worst band ever."
Yeah.
Totally ripped
awesome.
them.
That's awesome.
So
or at least have her sing it. Like, I don't know, man. It was pointless for having her there. It was stupid. But the montage was funny because they led up to Ralph Macchio, Daniel, he was just like, nah, we were both drunk. He's not going to take it serious. And then it cuts to
he was like, you know what?
He's in the
beach. He's tweeting about it first thing in the morning.
Let
the fight's happening.
It was good.
Just in case.
It was good.
They had the Rocky, and then they did the Rocky 3 ending with the double knockout. Well, he's like, can we get another camera angle? It's like, there's just the one.
That's what's good about this show is that they set up the jokes so well.
They do.
Like, it's I hope they wrap it up in the next season. I mean, I don't want it to overdo it. You know, I don't want like 4 more seasons.
Right? No.
I want one more, maybe tops, and then we're good.
No, I think they wrap it up in the next one or the one after.
You hope.
I don't know. I got faith in them. So far, they have a pretty good system in place with this. Let's go Witcher 2. You're both caught up on Witcher season 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not as good as Witcher season 1, or do either of you feel that that's different?
I like it. It was different. You know what? I like that it went back to one straightforward storytelling. I mean, I liked what they did in season 1 where they told the backstory and the current story at the same time. That was cool, but I didn't want that.
Yeah,
they couldn't do it again. I didn't want that to be a thing.
It was like Westworld. You can't. They did it too, but you can only really do that strongly for one season because same reason. Because after that, the tricks out of the bag. Anything after that is no longer a twist or surprise. It's just annoying to try to keep up with a already complicated story because it's such a big world that they're giving us in such a quick dosage to just kind of dive in. You know, with a lot of the backstory.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was just as good as the first one. I kind of hope we're probably not going to get a 3rd season for another 2 years, but I kind of want it sooner. I kind of want it sooner.
I get that. Yep.
But now they're set up because they're setting up the universe now because we have the animated film, which if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly recommend that you do. It's fantastic, and they mention it. I was kind of hoping for the character from that film to actually show up because the person who does the voice of the character in the animated film looks a lot like the character, so I almost felt like that was done on purpose, that they were going to bring him in, but they did not. But there's mention of the story from the first one.
Well, they have the live action coming up too, the spinoff.
And that spinoff, which is actually a prequel to The Witcher.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel series. So they're really building up the world. It's kind of like they're giving us a fast forwarded Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
because Game of Thrones is now doing the prequel after they did 7th season. Like, hey, why wait for that before we have a a finale that not everyone loved. Well, that a lot of people actually hated, but not us. But before we get to that status, let's start milking the fandom now. And it looks good. I mean, that trailer that they showed in the post credits actually looks good. So, but yeah, same thing. Very good standalone episodes here and there, especially the first one. I really liked the first episode. So out of the gate, it gave you a lot of good action sequences. The story's moving along well. I feel season 1 was better. But I can't expect them to be able, just like Westworld, to be able to top it after they gave you that big twist of like, oh, that's cool. It was out of time and it wasn't set up. But, especially with the whole childhood surprise thing and, law of surprise, building up to that and all of that. But yeah, I thought it was good.
You know what really hurt season 2 is that the child of surprise is not a child anymore, right?
Yeah,
like she's in her early 20s now.
Yeah.
So, and you could tell she grew up a lot from the first season. It's like, it looks like a completely different actor. So I don't know.
Yeah, they could have casted younger, and I'm going to say that because we watch shows like Umbrella Academy, where by far the best actor on the series is the youngest actor who was legitimately his age.
Who's going to look 30 when the third season comes up?
Well, probably, but he was. Oh, look at Stranger Things too. That cast. The only problem with Stranger Things is taking so long to film and release seasons in between. But if they would have actually casted a 13-year-old girl to play a 13-year-old girl. Yeah, she wouldn't have matured as quickly because she's still a very young looking actress. It's just there's a maturity about her that's hard to act out of. You know what I mean? Right. It's hard for someone in their 20s to act like they're 13. It's just it's difficult. It's just not going to happen. No matter how good of an actor, unless it's Gary Oldman. He's the only person that could probably play it.
Gary Oldman, guys, surprise!
That would be it. That would be it for that show.
Gary Oldman.
I
enjoyed it. It was a good series. I enjoyed it. I know they just started filming season 3, so maybe we'll get it next year. Who knows?
Yeah, and Burn did not hit as hard as Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. I don't know.
No, it was still a good song.
It was good, but it was good. It didn't.
But you know how I know it didn't hit you as much? I didn't hear you sing it every second of every day. That's how I know.
did like a couple days later, but like it did hit me and only because you brought it up. If you hadn't, it would have never happened. I'm like, you know what? That actually was a pretty good jam. And then I went back and watched that episode again just so you could jam to that song. Yeah. But I'm like, it's just not as it's not as catchy. Yeah. It didn't really it grabbed me the way that Toss a Coin Your Witcher did.
I did enjoy his dynamic with Yennefer though.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Couple of episodes,
that
was pretty
awesome.
Good.
That was good,
man.
That was good.
Witcher was good. I'm not gonna sit here and say it wasn't good. It was different, and but I still enjoy the crap out of it. I think the story was good, and I think that I think it's gonna be hard to redo what that first season did. And I don't think we're going to get that again or anything as big as that. I think that was their, it's just like even from song to production to the way they told the story, all that put together, it's just going to be hard to top. So we're just going to enjoy what we get.
Yeah, I have an explanation, and that's going to jump us into this month, into January. Because I'll just breeze over Yellow Jackets. There's one free episode on Showtime. I recommend on YouTube. Sorry, I recommend catching it to pique your interest because that looks like a good, very interesting show. Again, I've been hearing good things about Dexter. Station 11's on HBO Max. That's a really good. It's a one series. It's a mini series, so it's one season. Very interesting, very different, unique type of show. It's a little post-apocalyptic. Unfortunately, it has to do with a virus thing, but the way the story is told, it jumps time back and forth between pre, during, and after, and it does a really good job of building the characters, and actually a lot of Shakespeare in it as well, which is interesting. But what I'm going to dive into, and this is the reason I'm going to bring up Book of Boba Fett now, is I feel that Book of Boba Fett is now getting to that point, and we'll do some spoiler alerts, especially in the most recent episode, where we're starting to come down enough from the high of No Way Home. that everything else we're talking about.
I don't think Yopis has caught up on it.
Seen the whole
Book of
thing
At all?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
You know what?
So then
If
no
you wanna-
spoilers.
If you want to spoil it,
So no spoiler. Don't worry.
We don't have to. We don't have to spoil it. We'll just go over it fast.
No, all I'll say is that the most recent episode was like
it's the best episode.
Was the best episode. It was a big deal,
episode.
but it's also a big deal because we're finally hitting the end of the month, and we're enough of a gap now from No Way Home that high is we're coming off of that and starting to enjoy other things again with not such a high bar of wanting to be wowed. And we're like Witcher season 2, Hawkeye, Lost in Space, everything else, unfortunately, and the Matrix Resurrection, just like they should have just like, look, The Last Kingsman. I haven't even seen it. I haven't even know
I'm not watching that.
I don't know what's it on, where it's going to be, anything, and all of that is again because I caught No Way Home 3 times. I know you guys, I believe it was twice each.
I got it twice.
It's like it's just such a mind-blowing event. It's hard for anything else. You know what I mean? It's like we have filet mignon and everything else is like, yeah, it's like, a minuto steak.
But you can't compare
steak.
everything.
It's still good, but it's not about comparing. It's just that you can't help but be like, man, but I just had filet mignon, it's like the steak is good, but it's not what I just had, 3 days ago. That T-bone was just out of hand. That, that prime rib was out of hand. I'm just here having a regular flank steak now. It's like, it's hard. So you haven't seen anything, Yopi.
No,
so you're doing the MSK. You're gonna wait to binge, which is funny because now you're doing the MSK and MSK's not.
That's not the thing. Honestly, the thing is like, you guys know there's so much content right now that it's so hard to keep up with everything, and I want to be up. Like I want to be watching it like every single time. But then I gotta wait for somebody to watch it with me, or somebody else needs to watch. It's just so much to watch that I don't have the time, man.
You didn't catch it. You didn't catch it when it came out. That's what it is.
And I feel like right now I just want to wait until the hype is over, just so I can rewatch.
You only got 2 episodes left, so you'll be able to binge it straight through. I'm just surprised because you got the kid who's like massive Star Wars fan.
See, but he's been
has he seen it?
Lately, he's been weird about things, man. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like he didn't watch.
He's jumping around.
Remember he saw what was it? What If before us?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And then we kind of like had to watch something. Oh, Hawkeye. He hasn't even finished Hawkeye.
Wow.
And it's like, because now we're like, oh, no, we're not waiting for you because you saw What If without us. So it's
yeah. I was Theo Omega was present for that situation because
that's funny.
They were waiting for him to watch What If, and then I had gotten him a Lego minifigure of one of the What If. Actually was Zombie Captain Marvel, and he's like, oh, I want to see that episode now, and then he binged after he made Yopi's here and Mama Yopi's and Sister Yopi's. We're all waiting on him. He went on his phone and binged the whole series. Yeah. Without them.
So it's your fault.
So like, they should just be watching. Yeah, technically, but
it's
they should. They should all be watching Boba for everything without him. Like, just forget it. Like, that's it. Move on.
Yeah. So wait. Overall,
each man
without
for
spoilers,
himself.
Without spoilers, Omega, what do you think overall about Book of Boba?
I think there's it's no Mandalorian, but I wasn't expecting it to be. I do what people are complaining about is actually the things I enjoy about it. I enjoy this whole syndicate, crime family, thing that they're doing that's very different, from what Mandalorian's about. I do feel that it's been progressively getting better. There is that's the only, but it's not really a spoiler, but there is a character, it's a Wookiee, and that's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars now, period. I want to see so much more from this character. We will. This character. I mean, he's awesome. And there's a couple little things that I think they shouldn't have done. I don't think they ruined the show at all. I just think that it probably would have been better without it, or if things were done in a different way. And I'm talking about other certain characters, or the way that they're portrayed, and the way that they're written and presented. But outside of that, I'm digging it, and I really think that the last 2 episodes are going to be really damn good.
Especially from the last episode.
From the last episode to now, I think it's going to end up being a really good series. I think it still won't be as good as Mandalorian, but we'll see. I think it's going to end well. And then we got Obi-Wan to look forward to, and then Ahsoka series and other stuff they got.
There's a bunch of other stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I'm kind of at the same spot as you. Yeah, I'm kind of at the same spot as you. It's not The Mandalorian. I'm enjoying it. I do have some issues with it, and none of it has to do with him taking off the mask. I'm just throwing it out
same
there.
here.
Has nothing to do with him taking off the mask.
I see what you're doing.
But I know, and I hope when I send him this clip, he's gonna hear it. But none of it has to do with him taking off the mask. But I do have story issues with it, and we'll probably talk about it.
But I will
we need
tell
to do
you,
a Star Wars episode, man. Like we haven't.
That taking off the mask element, there is something they did to the storyline in this last episode that has canonized a little something that I'm
and it's always been canonized. It's been canonized in Clone Wars. It's been canonized in Mandalorian.
I'm looking forward
so it's like,
to
shut up, you know?
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to see how they play out now with something they just dropped in the last episode. That I think there's going to be a change with that, and I think it better explains the story in that. But got to get on Book of Boba Fett. I mean, that's going to be a big wow.
We eventually have to do a Star Wars episode because we haven't done one yet.
No,
we haven't done a Star Wars episode, and there's a lot that we have to talk about that we haven't talked about. So
I'll catch up.
Yeah,
I'll catch up.
Well, no,
we'll
have stuff to come, and I really hope they don't make any movies anytime soon. I really like that Star Wars is going all in on Disney Plus and being a series universe.
Develop the characters.
It's everything I wish, because you guys checked out way earlier than I. Well, actually, I haven't really checked out completely, but you know what I'm gonna say. It's really what I wish the CW DC series were, where it was like that such greatness of film. Yeah. But that's what I'm glad that that's what Star Wars is. And like, I don't need movies of these things. Where Marvel's different, they're companion shows to the movies that we're getting. So I like that scenario, but I don't want Star Wars to be companion series. I want just to get the series and let that just be a thing. And if we get movies later in the line, completely different storyline, completely different part of the universe. I don't want none of this stuff in the movies. Is kind of what I I feel on that.
I'm enjoying it. There's things that I don't like, but it's not something stupid about the mask. It's more of a storyline. The stuff they did with the Tusken Raiders was awesome. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yes,
that was dope.
Yes.
Last episode was awesome. Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard should direct the movie. Straight up.
If they're gonna do a Star Wars movie, she has to direct it. She has to direct it because she's. Yeah. She knows Star Wars. She knows it. She does. She knows how to present a very good story. I mean, she really does. And
so Yopi's watching, man. Yopi's watching. Just watch it.
Get on it. So, but yeah. So my argument was that because now we're starting to come off of the high a little bit from No Way Home. I think Boba Fett is the thing that's benefiting the most from that. Of course, another Disney property would be the thing that's benefiting most from coming
Boba Fett.
But I will bring up so MSK, you saw Nobody? That's on HBO Max now?
I have not.
You have not. Yo, Piece, did you get to see that yet?
I don't even know what that is.
I'll recommend. It's actually Better Call Saul. So
that'll be a Nerdcessity.
Yeah, you know Saul Goodman from.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah. Breaking Bad.
I don't think it's Nerdcessity worthy though. I don't want to hype it up too much. I don't think it's not that good. It's very entertaining, and the reason I just want to bring it up is, and slight spoiler alert, but it's in the main trailer. There is an outrageous bus fight scene, and the only reason I bring it up is because the other big bus fight scene we had last year was from Shang-Chi, which is now on Disney Plus,
which is awesome.
And I like it because even on that on Screen Rant, what is it? The movie pitch guy, that he talks about when he talks about he talks about the bus scene, and he's like, oh, there's that Marvel over the topness, and you know what I mean, like where it starts out as like a very calm kung fu fight, martial art, and you have that comedian, the character which is the guy who does do a flip from Spider-Man. He's the one like
Spider-Man.
I took martial arts as a kid, so I'm gonna give you a play-by-play. But then it turns into a superhero movie at that point. We find out, oh no, wow, this is next level. This guy is a superhero, and there's more, beyond just the standard street fight scenario. Where I'm going to bring up, because this is actually a franchise that Yo Piece likes a lot, and MSK likes to give him crap for part 3. It's very Charles Bronson, where you get this, and you already know this because it's Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. This is the hero of the movie, so he's not Keanu Reeves, 6'3", badass looking physicality persona. He's this real average looking guy, so it gives you that Charles Bronson vibe. It's like, this is just a tough SOB.
And you sold me. I'm in.
I'm in.
The bus fight, because Death Wish 3 is terrible, but
Death Wish 3, man, that's classic, is what you mean.
The bus fight scene here, it's so gritty. It's like it made it to my top 10 list of fight scenes in a movie or TV series. Wow, because it is so gritty, and what I like about it is he takes what he gives. So it's like, it's not that, again, what you get in the John Wick where it's like 50 guys and there's not a scratch on him.
He's just kicking,
No, man, he's getting well done, but he's just such a tough guy, and he comes at it, and he's a skilled fighter in a way as well, and you'll see why. But it's like, it's just such a gritty, vicious fight scene. Like, it's so cool to watch those two fight scenes a parallel to see what a difference of universes and,
why would you say Death Wish right now?
This guy's just
now you're just thinking about it. Now you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it.
Why would you? I get it. I get it. But like, Death Wish, really, like, do you know my little story with
your
MSK?
favorite cult classic movie?
Yeah, he texted me. He said, "Turn on the TV. Go see what's on." What was it? TNT, AMC, one of
AMC. Right now, see what's on.
Go see it right now. You gotta turn it on. Death Wish 3 is on, and now I gotta watch it because he watched the whole thing. Bad. It's
amazing.
What's funny is, you know what? I'll bring it up only because which is funny because it's a segue, because he did that stuff too, which is Bruce Willis also did the remake of Death Wish. But like, see, even with Bruce Willis, the actor, he doesn't have that, that larger than life action hero physicality about him either, but way more than this actor. You know what I mean? So that's why I have to go back to like a Charles Bronson, where a guy who just he can be tough, but he just doesn't, from first glance look it, until the time comes of just what a mean guy he can be when it's necessary. And that's what this actor does, and because everything else you've seen him in, he doesn't play this role at all. It's very well done. It's like the switch is just great. But definitely worth watching. But I wouldn't, not a necessity, because it's a lot. I'm going to compare it to Denzel Washington's Equalizer, where it doesn't end as well as it starts, and as, like, you know what I mean, it peaks and then it kind of just like levels off, or like, okay, it levels off. It wasn't bad, but that could have been better.
And
you know what I mean? Like,
and then they made the sequel. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched the sequel to Equalizer yet because of the way the first one ended.
It's okay.
Yeah, I figured as much.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well,
so we're taking Denzel off the list?
No, he's not off the list because
what are we doing right now?
Actually, we were talking about this off. We were talking about this off podcast, but this is what I was saying about Denzel. Denzel's an actor where a lot of films he does are movies that, like, he looks at it and he knows, he's so confident, like, with me in it, this is a good movie. But then when you dissect certain movies, you're like, you know what? If Denzel wasn't in this movie, that would not have been a good movie. You just know it. With this movie, you're like, hey, you know what? This is a good movie with or without him. Better with him, but it still would have been good without him. He does, unfortunately, a lot of like of his action movies. That you're just like,
he knows how to choose
man,
him.
I don't know.
He knows how to choose
like,
him.
Like, I don't know, man. Like the one he did with Mark Wahlberg. Like, he has a few.
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity. Yeah, so I'm saying, and you're like, I don't know. I think without him, this would not have been good.
No,
this would not have been watchable.
Yeah, you start placing other people in there. You're like, no. Like,
it wouldn't be good.
You need him.
But yeah, no. Denzel,
actually, what was the movie you guys were talking about?
Denzel stays on the list for sure. American Gangster.
American Gangster.
You put someone else. It's like
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse.
It does. But no, he's. But I mean, yeah, because we had a joke. I guess, is that considered a meme? It's like a list. Like, you have to remove one of these actors, like, in everything that they've ever worked on and done. And Denzel was definitely a keeper. He was a keeper.
We'll talk about that off. So what's the next week? We got
to repost it, and we'll do an Instagram thing on that. Whatever.
That's right. We can do an Instagram thing.
So I just binged, and I see that's another one I can't necessarily because it's not worthy, but it is out now on Netflix. Check it out. It's All of Us Are Dead. It just came out this weekend.
That's a zombie
on Netflix.
one, right? Yeah.
It came out this week. Meaning it came. Wait,
Came out Friday.
You binged the whole thing?
Yep, binged it yesterday and today.
It was background noise for him.
It came out.
Background.
It came out
It was
today.
background
That's
noise.
already. It came out Friday. It came out Friday morning. So I started Friday morning
it came
while I
out
was
yesterday.
working.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That's already an issue. Number one, I had to dub it because it's in Korean. If you're watching, get ready to do a lot of reading because for a zombie series, there's a lot of dialogue. A lot of dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue scenes where there isn't zombie stuff going on. However, there's zombie stuff in every episode, and whenever there's zombie stuff, it is intense. It is filmed very well. The effects are great. The special effects are good. The regular effects are good. The makeup's good, and just the way they're shot and planned out and choreographed, everything as far as that goes. Like Train to Busan, and I think Alive is the Korean version, and Alone is the American version they made of that one. Korea film studios, they really know, and of course, I'm talking about South Korea. They really know how to make zombie.
Yeah, I think we all know that.
Yeah, of course, exactly. But just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah,
just in case.
They really know how to make, portray and bring zombies to the screen.
Kingdom.
But yes, and that's even Kingdom. How did I forget that one? Even the samurai stuff. But it's storyline wise. It's all right. It's all right. It's worth watching, but not one of these things like, you got to watch it ASAP. If you're in the mood to binge something, binge it. Just get ready to do a lot of reading because just like Squid Game and what's that other one? Something in Wonderland or whatever. It's obviously probably better if you hear the natural dialogue and read. But
especially Squid Game.
Yeah, for my sake, I had to watch it while I was working, so I put the dub. Then it wasn't too bad, but it's just the story, the line, and the premise, dialogue wise and story wise, it's all right. But the
I'll put it on the queue. I'll put it on the queue.
Is it better than Army of the Dead?
Way better.
Okay, that's it. That's all I care about.
That's a low bar.
Yeah, the bar.
I haven't even
the
watched
bar is right
that
down
prequel.
there, so that's all I care about. Like if it's not,
I can't believe they gave him a prequel like a month later. What's the other one called? With the bank robbing.
I have no idea.
The heist one.
The heist one.
No idea. Don't care.
Well, they're both heist ones. Oh god, I don't even Army of the Dead. Jesus. Yeah. But Ozark. Anybody? I guess neither one of you.
Ozark is one of those series that I saw the first season. I saw half of the second season, and I didn't get back into it. And I eventually will, but it's so many.
I will say damn good, but you might as well wait. Yeah, if you're like MSK and you haven't been jonesing for it, at this point you might as well wait because this is the final season, but they halved it. So they gave us half now.
Oh, why? What's going on?
Oh, even better. Thank you for telling me that.
And it's a TBA. It's a to be announced when the second half is going to drop.
So they haven't filmed it yet, is what you're saying. By the way, they film...
Yeah.
They film it in Georgia.
I think they just started filming. What
is this now? What is this whole thing going on? Like, what is this part 1, part 2, part 3? Like, stop it.
And you know what? That was my problem with Vikings. They would do that, but like...
Yeah, well, Vikings would take
first half in January, first half of season 5 in January, and second half
but you know what?
of season 5 next February. Like,
you know what's really my problem with that is like even Ozark, they shouldn't do that. Ozark called this season 4 part 1. They should have just called it season 4, and the next 7 episodes are season 5 because 6 episodes or more is a season.
Yeah,
and they, I'm gonna complain. I gotta get it out of my system, and it's the last I'll talk about it.
You're gonna complain,
and it's probably the last time I talk about it for 2022, the whole freaking year. Walking Dead just did that same crap.
Oh my god, that's it. I'm done.
Hold on.
I'm done. I'm out of here.
Let me tell you.
Peter.
No. Listen, look what they did. Just so you can understand my frustration. These animals, all right? They first said, okay, this is the final season, but we're breaking it into 2 parts. So they're doing like the Vikings. The Vikings did the exact same thing, except the same thing. Like, why calling it 2 parts? You mean you're doing 2 more seasons, just like Vikings did. Like, you're doing 2 more seasons. You want to call it final season in 2 parts? It's 2 separate seasons. Now, when they show the trailer for this second part, it's not the second part. They called it part 2 of 3. So you animals are force feeding 3 more seasons to these reluctant fans
You mean
calling
you.
it a
You're
final
the only one
season.
left,
Yeah,
bro.
me. Yeah, it's Smallville
You're
all
the
over
only
again.
one
At
left.
least Smallville had the decency to not lie to me and just force those 20 episodes down my throat as a final season. I just waited it out and just got it over with. Where these animals was like, oh my God, can everyone die? Like, I want Daryl to die. I want Carol to die. I do not care about a single character on that show anymore.
Why
I just want to see it end.
Why are those people? Why are you still?
I don't know.
Why are they
I don't
still
know.
there?
And is Rick still getting his movies?
Supposedly, yeah.
Who's watching that?
Not me. I'm not.
No, yes, you are. Yes, you
No,
are.
I did not
Yes,
bother
you
with
are.
Will
Don't
Beyond.
lie to me, man. Do not lie.
I'm not lying.
Not
I
lie.
checked out of Fear. I not even finished Fear the Walking Dead. That's it. Spoilers. I don't care. They had an atomic bomb go off, and all these people survived.
Whoa,
I'm done.
what?
Dead serious.
What?
Dead serious.
What?
Dead serious. Morgan
Wait, isn't that a
survived.
prequel?
Morgan survived an atomic explosion, a nuclear explosion, and survived it without radiology. I don't care how they're going to try to
I
explain
almost said
that.
a joke
I'm
there,
not
but I'm
watching
glad
it.
there.
Checked out.
That's all I.
Checked
no,
out.
Nah.
I deleted all of them. My DVR was automatically recording them. I told my mom, sorry, figure out how you're going to watch it. I'm deleting them.
Oh man.
I don't believe you.
I did. Swear to
I
God.
don't believe you.
Swear. Swear.
I can't wait till the last episode of Walking
You may
Dead
be deleting them,
come out.
but you're going
Delete
to
them.
watch them somehow.
You're gonna go back to it. Yeah, you're gonna go back to
You
it.
have to. You can't.
Nope,
you
I do
can
not have
watch
to.
so far
You're invested, man.
and
I'm
You're
not
not watch
invested
invested.
in that
You're
way.
like what's happening with that.
The only one I'm invested in is Walking Dead, and at
you
this
did
point, I want to see everyone die. I want Negan to win. I want Negan to become Negan again, and I want him to kill everybody. If he
How's he still
bashes,
alive?
if he
How did they not
bashes
kill him?
Maggie, exactly. If he bashes Maggie's head in with a bat, the same way he did Glenn, I will be satisfied. Not because I have anything against the actress. I love the actress. I'm just done with the character. I'm done with all characters on that show. Especially now. It's like, come on, man. Don't tell me this is the final season and then like part 2. Oh no, part 2 of 3. Like, come on. It's murder.
I wish I had like a document, like a Word doc of every time you brought up The Walking Dead.
I know, sorry.
To make like a
Sorry.
master episode
I
of Walking
think
Dead.
we
The
need
point
to
is
do
back to
this.
Ozarks.
I think we
Back
need
to
Yeah, I think
Ozarks.
so too.
Yeah,
Right
but it's-
before the ending of that
yeah.
show. We
So-
need to release an episode of just Walking Dead rants.
So back to Ozark. Yeah, they should just call it season 4,
Yeah.
and then the next 7 episodes season 5.
I
and
don't
that's it.
understand this. And this is
It's another
Netflix, right?
season.
Like this
Yeah.
is Netflix. What are you guys doing right now? Like, stop it. Who?
Well, Netflix is still testing
Well,
how
stop.
they want to
There's
release
no-
things. That's
stop
the thing.
testing. I don't care. Don't be
Yeah.
testing on me. Don't be testing on me. You want to test? Give some free accounts to somebody out there in the world and test it on them. But do not be testing
Free
on
accounts. They just raised the price.
not be
They
testing on me.
Netflix owns us.
It's
Netflix
real.
owns us.
Seriously,
They don't-
I don't even
they don't
know.
own us.
I don't even look at my
I tell you
bill.
who they don't
I don't even look
own.
at my bill no more.
I don't
Just
even
pay
look-
it.
I don't even
Just
look-
pay it.
They don't own Dan. I tell you what. They don't own Dan.
They don't own that. Listen, Netflix
Yeah.
has been consistently
That's it.
charging me
Put the Canada
since
sweater back on,
2004.
Yo, Peace, put the Canada sweater back on and just pirate everything and make sure you wear that Canada sweater while you do it.
Wait, don't be saying that out loud. Don't be saying that. What pirate? You know, I told you I don't like pirate stuff. we established this.
Yar. There's a series, Afterlife on Netflix. You're speaking of Netflix. Three season episode. It's very BoJack Horseman, not animated, but in the sense where you laugh a lot and you cry a lot. It's actually Ricky Gervais, and I'm very shocked that the guy who did the British version of The Office, and the movies that he does and extras on HBO directed, wrote, and produced this series, because it is an incredible dramatic story.
I'm not surprised by that at all. Why would I be surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised. He's super talented.
Like,
but no,
He created like the most important show. Like
No. I'm talking about comedy-wise, but I'm talking about the drama
Right,
in this.
the drama of
is
it,
not
yeah.
the same drama that those shows carry. This is a very deep,
It's the
very
British,
dark,
bro. It's the British. That's
yeah.
that.
And look, I compared it to BoJack, so you know where I'm going with this. BoJack has
Yeah.
a lot of things about mental health and things like
Right.
that, and he does this very well, and in a way that's very surprising. You know, the way he tells this story, and it's 3 seasons done in the tank, over. But yeah, it's one of those that you feel the emotions. Almost like the way James Gunn does, except James Gunn gives you mostly funny and then will nail you with a little tidbit here, there, and we'll get into Peacemaker in a second. But it'll get you a little tear because you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
And Jarvis does this in the series, like every episode, roller coaster ride, where he's like, laugh, like, oh man, laugh, like, oh, and then the way the series wraps up is just like it's one of the most emotional roller coasters I've ever seen.
Now that one is called
on a TV series.
That one is called Afterlife. Now that's not like, didn't he have a movie where he dies
that's different, where he sees ghosts
he did have that movie.
Yeah, that's a movie. No, this one is because it's about the belief of an afterlife in a sense.
Okay.
Because the premise of the film, of the show, so you get right away, it's in the trailer and everything, he's a widower. He loses his wife.
Okay.
And the whole series is about him dealing with the depression and the mental and emotional issues of that, and trying to carry on, and how do people carry on with such a loss? Because it's not the death of a parent, it's a companion. You know what I mean? And and she was his whole life, and they don't have children, so it's like it was just the two of them. So it's a very hard thing to move on from. And he has people in his life that care about him, but they're not his companions. It's how they're affected by him, and how he's affected by them trying to help him, and it's a whole thing with that. And it just has that thing about where we've seen this type of theme in other movies and shows, where it's like, I don't care anymore, so I'm just gonna say whatever I want. So a lot of the comedies on that, a lot of the comedies based on a guy just, I don't care about being cordial and polite or whatever, and I'm just gonna say things. So it's funny because he does say things to like kids on a playground or whatever that normally you think but you don't say, where he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna say it. What's the worst that can happen? And so a lot of the comedy is based on saying things that you would never say unless you just totally do not care anymore. So that it goes with that aspect. But yeah, it's and it's short. They're like 30 minutes an episode. I think 6 episodes or 8 episodes a season. So it's an easy binge, and it's all dialogue. So if you're like someone like me or MSK that works from home, and you don't need to constantly look at the television and just hear it.
Background noise.
Don't add me in that list, right? Because I need to look at things.
So you get no work done while you're binging The Office for like the 5th time.
No, I don't binge I don't binge The Office while I work. What I put on while I work is either like a podcast or mindless television. I'll have that in the background, but I can't do real television.
When you said mindless,
segue
mindless before segue before we segue into this, you mean like Dexter and stuff like that, right? That's what you put like as background noise.
Like Dexter? No, I put like
fan shows.
I put on our episodes on.
Oh, perfect. All right, so you can
segue.
You can listen to us Fanatically Correct on PodBean, Google Play, AnyPod for Alexa or Echo, Spotify, podcast on iOS. Please review us. We need some reviews. It's been a while, and I get it. You don't want to review us because we haven't been as active as we should be. But hey, you work. I'm sure the other person next to you works. I'm sure somebody, your kids work. People work. So we got a very heavy
Hollywood kid.
Very heavy schedule going on. So please bear with us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So,
what, are you writing an email? What are you doing?
I'm writing an email to all these people that don't want to review us. But you can get all of our websites on Linktree. Our Linktree account is linktr.ee/fancorrect, or just go to our website, which is fanaticallycorrect.com. Follow us at FanCorrect on Twitter and Instagram, and Fanatically Correct on Facebook. And I'm not even going to pronounce that last one because we don't really even have that account or even go on that account anymore.
It's still on there, so I'll delete that now.
I would not even mention it anymore because we just, we just don't care anymore. You don't care, I don't care, and that's just the way we roll. We also have...
Dan cares, so this is for you, Dan.
We had a MySpace page, that's right.
Yeah, it was MySpace. Man, I really hate this section. You can email us at contactfancor@gmail.com. or leave us a voicemail at our Google number, which is 786-704-8404. And that's about it. That's where you can reach us.
And we pay nothing, so those overcharges or whatever to your phone are
not a goddamn thing.
I'll tell you, the bad thing about that segue is I set up that segue good, And then MSK was like, he got the pass from Omega, was setting up, took the shot, and then Yopi's like, no, not in my house.
There's no setup.
He goes, wait a minute, what are you watching?
Except he's on our team.
What?
Except he's on our team.
Yeah, no, not the setup.
Like, why are you
Not
packing
the
your
setup.
That was
own
a
player?
perfect segue, man.
Not the setup.
That was a perfect segue, and you just went, no. He did no.
No.
I'm gonna shoot this in the opposite basket.
Like, he's like, no 3-pointer for you. I'm gonna just do a layup. like I had
That's
a 3.
funny.
I had a 3.
What else we got on here? What else?
So, Righteous Gemstones. I don't know if either of you watched that. I checked that out.
Not.
HBO
Have
Max.
not.
It's actually the best thing about that show. Actually, is John Goodman. He's terrific in that series.
He's
but
awesome in everything.
It's a crazy series. So for those who don't know, if you like a Danny McBride type show, like an Eastbound and Down or Substitute Teachers, which that actor's in it too, from Justified. What's his name? The villain. Actually, Justified's coming back too. Yeah. That actor, he's in it as well. So it's got a lot of good actors in it. Danny McBride.
Isn't the villain the guy from? Because I started watching Justified in the beginning.
Hateful Eight.
But isn't he the guy from the game GTA?
No, that's no. That's another guy.
I'm confusing people.
Yeah, you're confusing him. Yeah, but they both have big teeth and big foreheads. So I know you're talking about.
I don't know who you're
which is the
talking
guy
about.
who was in Walking Dead, actually Wayne. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That's funny. That's funny though.
look the
No, it's
same.
the guy from Hateful Eight. He was also in The Shield.
I know who
and-
you're talking
and
about.
Sons
It's
of
just
Anarchy.
funny because
yeah.
they're the same guy.
Yeah, but he's good in it. He plays like the younger brother-in-law of John Goodman's character. But then it's also got a few other people you've seen on other stuff. But there's a series called Substitute Teachers with him and Danny McBride on HBO, which that's finished too. I think it was 3 seasons. Crazy show. But same thing. If you like those types of shows,
what I'm
you'll
talking
like
about,
this.
right? Like,
It's too much
Did
content.
you see? Have
it's
you
insane.
noticed all the content that
It's
we've
insane.
talked about today? And like
2 months.
Yeah.
there's
2
so
months.
many
December,
I haven't
January,
seen,
and we're not even touching a lot of
heard
stuff.
about, or even like read or anything.
Listen, we just brought up Justified. I've been trying to watch Justified for 2 years, and I finally got to the last season, and I just stopped. I don't know why I stopped, because I like the show, but I just stopped watching it because I started
It's
watching
crazy.
other shows.
It's crazy. TV,
You know?
TV
And-
is just way too much right now.
Look, I
It's
just
insane.
binged The Last Kingdom. That was 5 seasons in, and MSK just started binging Peaky Blinders and almost done.
Yeah,
Which is also,
I'm
5
actually,
seasons?
I'm actually one more episode. We'll talk about
One
Peaky Blinders
episode.
later because
Yeah.
that's a good
But
necessity.
I'm saying, but that's all I got to get in. That's actually next on my queue. But that's also 5 seasons also, right?
It's also 5 seasons, and I saw The Expanse, and that's 6 seasons, and I binged the crap out of it last month. I just binged it all.
Jesus.
Nice.
So.
But I do want to make mention, because they have a
Here we
couple
go.
episodes
Don't do it.
left only also.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
No,
do it.
Peacemaker.
No,
Peacemaker.
no.
You know what it is
Yes.
about Peacemaker?
That-
You know what it
I've
is,
watched it.
honestly?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
I have not watched it, but I'll tell you
I don't
why I
know what
haven't
you're gonna
watched
say
it.
then.
I'm gonna watch it because it looks entertaining. It looks like
I know
fun.
what it is.
I just need a break. I just need a break from
Oh,
it.
you got superhero fatigue you're talking
I
about?
have fatigue,
can
man,
use the
and it's
words.
not because of the movies. Because the movies I can watch it, and it's the series. It's too much. It's Umbrella Academy. It's The Boys. It's that other one that I didn't even bother watching on Netflix. I'm never gonna watch it. The one about the gods. I think
Jupiter,
it'll make
Jupiter's
that's-
Legacy.
yeah.
Jupiter.
I'm not gonna
I'm
watch
never gonna watch that.
It's good.
I'm never gonna watch that. It's a lot, man. Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
You know,
I haven't even caught up on the new
Titans.
season on Doom Patrol. It's just so much. It's so
It's a lot.
so
much.
much. It's so much.
What I will say about Peacemaker is that, speaking of The Boys, it's The Boys. It's
Which
very-
I'm watching, by the way, right now. I'm
Yeah.
just watching season 2 of The Boys.
There you go.
I'm
So,
catching up
but
on.
then
So,
you'll like that segue. Well, okay, first of all, did you both like the Suicide Squad, the movie?
Yes.
That James Gunn did?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it a lot.
It's a direct follow-up to that, with the difference of HBO Max told James Gunn and Warner Brothers said, hey, you know how we wanted a soft R for the Suicide Squad? Yeah, do whatever you want for the series. Do whatever you want, and it is boys caliber. It is ridiculous. The vulgarity, the violence, the nudity, the everything about it is just, it's just next. It's James Gunn completely unhandcuffed to do whatever he wants. So we got a taste of it in the Suicide Squad, and this just goes another direction. And it's the James Gunn typical fashion, what I said earlier about he's comedy, crazy, tear to your eye.
Yeah.
Like he manages to do it. And this is by far, and John Cena's been doing a lot of stuff lately, but he's working John Cena very well. He really knows how to utilize him in a way that's
the most thing
more stuff.
I'm interested in. What I'm really interested in Peacemaker is how they're gonna make me like John Cena, because his character in Suicide Squad, the way he kills Flag, it's like, I mean, how could you like that guy? You know,
there's a backstory to the character there's a backstory to the character they're developing that's very interesting. And the actor who plays his father is the Patrick. What?
Too much info.
It's Robert Patrick. Patrick's awesome, by the way. He's a great actor.
And Peacemaker's a big deviation from what the Marvel franchises are. You know what I mean? It's a complete step away. It's close, like I said, to the boys. But we got next month. We got Valhalla. Vikings. Valhalla. I will. That's gonna be my necessity.
Vikings.
I'll wrap it up.
Vikings.
The Last Kingdom.
Wrap it up.
Well, you guys got necessities. You two guys got necessity. So go ahead, wrap it up.
Unless MSK's
wrap it up.
Unless MSK's got a better one.
Oh, he know what he's doing.
No, it's there. I'm Peaky Blinders, man. I binged the crap out of it.
Yep.
I did 5 seasons in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And probably 3 weeks. About a month. So yeah,
you don't even
5
know.
seasons.
You don't even know.
I don't even know. I have one more episode left, so I really do not know. So after I'm done recording here, I'm going to finish it. And that's the Nerdcessity, because everything leading up to that last episode is amazing.
Yeah.
So
Peaky Blinders. Is it over, or is there more seasons coming?
New season 6 is coming out this year. That's why I caught up.
You didn't even know.
I'll just make mention. I'm not going to say what it's about. It's obviously about Vikings. Right?
What are the Peaky Blinders?
The Last Kingdom, because Valhalla comes out next month.
Yeah, but you have another Netflix. Like your necessity entire is
the game.
Yeah, it's two things. It's an experience.
You guys made your own universe.
It's
is what you did.
It's your piece's fault. You got me hooked on Valhalla. I haven't been this hooked on a game since Red Dead Redemption.
You guys 2. Created your own Viking verse. Is what you did.
We really did. And I stumble upon this verse by mistake. And it worked out so well.
The order is Vikings from History Channel, then The Last Kingdom, and Valhalla, Assassin's Creed.
That's it.
And now Vikings Valhalla on Netflix. The new series coming out.
And then you're there, bro.
But yeah, I can't wait to start Peaky Blinders. We'll do a deep dive on Peaky Blinders. Do like gangster.
Well, we could do it leading up to season 6. Yeah, by then you should be done.
Yeah, I'll binge.
Listen, the best thing about Peaky Blinders is the cameos, man.
I'll probably do it in a week.
There's actors coming in.
You don't even know.
Those characters could have their own series. That's how good the cameos are.
Dude, I know. I've seen cast credits on that, and there's actors from so many things I like besides big famous actors like Tom Hardy and stuff like that. And just main characters already. Cillian Murphy. I love that actor. He's excellent. He's great in everything he does too.
It's great.
So
it's great.
I can't wait. Well, fellas, I guess we'll wrap that up. Good luck editing this MSK. If not, this will be one really long episode.
It's gonna be a long episode.
I don't need luck. No, there's no luck. If it's a nice long episode, for those of you that bared with us and listened through our catch-up, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
I'm sorry?
He's talking about future us, so
we're somewhat apologetic.
Future us and Dan.
Future us and Dan. Yes, Dan. Thank you.
I'm glad we did not break Dan from the Sort of Good podcast. I thought we broke him.
No, I think we fixed him.
We broke Dan. We broke Dan. We did break him. To the point where he went back, reevaluated his podcast. Changed it.
He reevaluated his life.
He reevaluated his life, his podcast.
We provided to him
a whole channel.
To quote Samuel Jackson, another person from that list, in Pulp Fiction, he had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity.
Yes.
And it was provided by Fanatically.
Well, he went from informed to disinformed completely. It was like
he went from prepared to winging it.
He went to very prepared to winging it, and he was just like,
winging it.
But you know what that was?
I gotta reevaluate.
It was our podcast, and then that genius podcast that he did with that doctor.
Like the neuroscientist or something
like the same night. I mean, that would do it to any of
guys,
us.
I just got off with a neuroscientist, so let's talk about Netflix.
It's good because you can turn your brain off now. That was the beauty of it. Good thing because now you can turn your brain off.
Oh man, thanks.
Oh, how funny would it have been if you would have been with us first? And then like that would have been it would have ruined.
Man, that would have been a bad podcast after that.
We would have broken Dan if that would have happened.
That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
He'd have a personal
Thanks for
vendetta
listening,
against
Dan.
our
We
podcast.
appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, well that'll wrap it up. So this Omega saying peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace. Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.
Is it Jason Patrick?
No, not Jason Patrick. The other way around. Is it?
No?
I think it's Patrick Jason.
The Lost
What's
Boys?
he? No, from Terminator 2, and he's been in a lot of other stuff since. The T-1000.
Oh, it's Patrick.
We're gonna have to edit this part because
Yeah, we'll edit it.
Ready?
IMDb real quick.
Oh yes, that's where we edit it.
It's from peace.
It's I'm gonna try to remember. Ready?
No, you're gonna IMDb it. Is what you're gonna do.
No, hold on. I'm gonna think about it. Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
yeah,
There
it's
you go. Robert
Patrick. It's Robert Patrick.
That
Robert
guy.
Patrick.
Oh, you mean Robert
That guy.
Patrick?
Yeah.
You mean Robert
That's
Patrick?
him.
Yeah.
Robert
Is
Patrick.
it Robert Patrick?
But no, he's really good at too. And I know.
Oh, you mean Robert Patrick?
Yes, I mean Robert Patrick.
That's gonna be our intro for the radio show. Is it Robert Patrick? Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick's awesome, by the way. He's a great actor.